Hi guys, welcome to Wasted Lunch. Your host, me, Paul McVay. Oh my gosh. It's Tuesday and it's a sweltering hot one. Sit back, relax, get your cup of coffee, try and find some air conditioning to survive this day. If you can't find air conditioning, sorry to hear about that, Locke. Time is 12:05 Oven Standard. Gary, what's up? How we doing? I don't know what the hell the temperature is. I don't know what the temperature is where you're at. Here, it's pretty damn hot. There's schools, kids are being sent home from schools that do not have air conditioning. Scott, what's up, dude? Tried hollering at you on Messenger the other day, but we'll end up hollering sooner or later. But yeah. Oh, no, thank you. Yeah, I just talked to my youngest son, and he got sent home from school because there's no air conditioning where he's at. I guess the temperatures are expected with the heat index to get into the, I don't know, get in their upper 90s, around 100 degrees or so. So, hello, Gary. Just got your message there. So, yeah, there's a lot of kids that are not going to school today. So what's happening, guys? Anything exciting going on out there? I am sitting in air conditioning, so I'm like shut off from all that heat out there. I just went outside just to see what it felt like before I came on here, so I'm not griping about heat or something and not even knowing what it's like out there. But it's pretty hot out there. So I can only imagine being stuck in a school with no air conditioning right now. I remember those days back in those old buildings with no damn air conditioning, sweltering my ass off.
That just shows that this generation is wimpified.
Well, my wife's saying that this generation has been wimpified because, yeah, you know what? I don't remember ever being sent home from school.
No.
Because it was too damn hot. Nikki, I miss you too, honey. I hope things are going good for you. Where you been?
It's 91. It feels like 95.
Yeah, I just got Teresa just read the temperature thing on her weather app. 91 feels like 95. Is that it? I'm sure that's going to just climb more because lately we've been having these days where the temperature stays up until past 6 o'clock.
This just in. Special weather statement.
Hope you still got your pools open.
Hot and humid conditions continue today. The combination of hot temperatures and high humidity will allow for heat index values in the upper 90s this afternoon. This is now the third day in a row with temperatures topping 90 and heat index values that approach the 100-degree mark.
Yeah, I was out yesterday. I don't know I can't remember what the hell the real temperature was. The heat index said 98. Okay. I got in the pool, got out, and after the pool, pools do a hell of a lot to cool your ass down. Let's see, Nick Ann saying as someone who walks everyone. I think you mean everywhere, because you're saying who walks everyone. I'm picturing you with lots of leashes, because there are a lot of people. It's heat. I am doing good after the heat. I want to come hang out soon. Well, honey, you're welcome to come over sometime and hang out. It'd be cool to have you on the show. In the flesh, not split screening. That'd be really cool. Haven't seen you in ages, and you're used to being in front of a camera, so that could be fun. And if you haven't noticed, if you've watched any of the shows, I do a pretty good job of keeping in touch with the younger generation. Interact quite a bit with younger people, and this old fogey here.
Ouch.
Oh, my wife just burned her hand off on a hot piece of microwave fried chicken. Boy, I just made chicken sound bad, didn't I? Microwave fried chicken, but
my chicken's bomb.
Yeah, you need to come over and do a show. Yes, I will totally do that. Right on? Well, that's it. It's a thing. We got to do it now. That's it. Paul and Nick Ann. That would be great. That'd be a lot of fun. Hell of a lot of fun. Hop in here at the McVay Kitchen Studio and we'll do it. Joe, what's up, dude? How's things going? From what I recall, you are in an air-conditioned workplace, so you are lucky, my friend. We got a lot of guys and gals out there sweltering in this shit. So, but enjoy the air. I know we've talked about this before. I remember you saying you got air conditioning. So, what the hell is it with this heat, though? And I'm not griping because you guys have heard me bitch about winter before and about how fall sometimes just like turns instantly into winter. So I'm actually really cool with this. I want summer to not end. Let's see, Gary Perry says, talking about moving to Texas where Gary's at. That sounds cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, I know. Oh, geez. Saw you one time at the Walmart and we were talking. And you and Kathy were there and talked about that a long time ago about you were talking about moving out there. So I hope that happens for you, dude. Because, you deserve some fun in the sun, man. That'd be really cool. Gary was on here the other day, live casting from Texas, and it was storming, and he was showing us where he lives and what it looks like. It looks like he is out in the country, which looks really cool to me. Do we have a lighter around here? Thank you. But, I was talking about, his boy got bit by a rattlesnake and how there's alligators and shit all around there. Let's see, Joe saying I had to work in a warehouse for about 20 years until I got into an air-conditioned office, though. Okay, so you had to pay the price before moving on to the office world, eh, Joe? Probably sweat and froze your ass off in a warehouse. Brandy, what's happening? Hello. So you know about working in the heat, huh? Kim Arrington. Hi, Kim. How you doing, honey? Hope things are going swell for you, too. But yeah, buddy Gary lives out there in Texas, right along the Texas-Louisiana border, and it looks beautiful. Gary's saying, only thing I can't stand too much heat now, he got bit by a copperhead. Yeah, I remember when that happened. As far as Facebook, obviously my ass was not in Texas when it happened, but I remember seeing them pictures and hearing about how the boy had to get life flighted twice, Gary said, to get taken care of. So, that's something we don't have to worry too much about, them copperheads around here.
They're in New York.
Copperheads are in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Never knew that.
Where I used to go camping, they were.
I have, I have heard every now and then of a copperhead getting around up here. But obviously they are not common like they are in Texas and down south. Brandy says, hello, how are you today? I'm doing really good. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you? I hope you're doing fantastic. Kim saying, I love the heat. Well, I love the heat myself. I don't care if it's summer.
That's why you're sitting in an air-conditioned studio.
I am sitting in an air-conditioned kitchen studio, but still, ask my wife. I'm not bullshitting here, guys. I take the chance to get my butt outside, don't I?
Yeah, you're the only one who does.
Everybody else will be in the air conditioning, and I will go outside. Okay? I'll take my notebook with my pencil, to write some ideas down about topics to talk about, stuff like that. I'll go right outside. I'll swelter in the heat for a little bit, and Of course, I do have a pool right next to me. Well, I'll admit that. And then, you know, take my shirt off and work on my tan, which doesn't look like a tan because I'm wearing a dark shirt. But still not bad tan. But, you know, wearing this dark shirt, you can't tell. I get more of a reddish tan. I don't know if you can...
On your forehead.
Yeah, it's not just on my forehead. I get tan all over.
Yeah, but
well, not all over. I don't, you know, I'm not sunbathing nude in my backyard.
Your forehead is red. The rest of you is nice, golden, crispy brown.
Last time I went sunbathing nude, it was when my cousin's band played out somewhere. I think I ended up running around in the parking lot nude after the show, but that wasn't sunbathing. That was at night.
You were moonbathing.
I just shared that. Well, I shouldn't have shared that. I see Joe Cameron saying it got the Irish tan going on. Yeah. But, you know, luckily for me, Joe, they say somewhere down the line, okay, somebody was of Native American ancestry in my family, so I'd luck out a little bit to where I don't get totally sizzled and burnt, you know.
But you're still hairy.
I'm not hairy.
You've got hair.
Kim's saying she has a beautiful tan. Yes, you do. It's not fair. You got a tan all year round. So, Brandy says, please don't take your shirt off. LOL. You know what? Stop it, Brandy.
I think she wants your shirt off.
Yeah. I get paid to take my shirt off. Okay, that's a lie.
That's why I'm broke.
Let's see. Kim went to the Bahamas for about a week, making me jealous again. I saw the pictures. It looked gorgeous. Closest I've made it to the Bahamas is Florida. And that was Orlando. Well, I saw Daytona Beach one time. That's the closest I've been there. I haven't even been to southern Florida, which looks gorgeous also. Fort Lauderdale, Miami, the Keys, all that gorgeousness. I missed out on that, but I'd like to go there someday. Big audience today, man. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that there's so many people on here. I hope everybody's doing fantastic. Got Gary up there who, doggone it, you got to get out there to Texas with your boy. Because it looks so exciting out there. You know, so much. Maybe it's because I'm from Ohio and been born and raised in Ohio. You know, that when I see these warmer places, it's just so foreign to me and exotic. Kim, you've never been to Florida. Well, Florida is nice. It's very flat. Very flat. Palm trees, of course you got that. Humid. Very humid. Sometimes it feels like the air is so thick, you're breathing steam. But it's a gorgeous place. But it's flat. And there are palm trees everywhere. And then they'll get these storms that might last for 5 minutes or whatever. And the rain is pounding and the wind is blowing to the point where it's hard to even open the door on your car, and then it's gone. Then it just stops raining. And then the pavement, sidewalks, and everything is dry, and all that heat is up in the air. Miss you too, Brandy. Gary's saying the people out there are so friendly. Yeah, you know what? Us people out here closer to the eastern coast sometimes get accused of being rude sometimes. Or short with people. And out in the west and down in the south, people tend to be a lot more friendly. I don't know why that is, but I'll tell you what, I have noticed lately, and this is weird, I have noticed in the last couple years, it seems like people around here in Northeast Ohio have been more friendly lately. Or at least to me. I don't know. I don't know, but I have noticed people being nicer to each other, which I think is awesome. But I'll tell you, the most unfriendly place I've been to, and I don't want to stereotype everybody there, because I'm sure there are some real sweethearts and some real jovial people out there. But I've been to New Jersey before, and let me tell you, there were some real sourpusses out in New Jersey. There were some very rude people out there. I went to restaurants that were maybe not the highest class restaurants, but they were still nice places and got treated like shit by the servers. Yeah. And in New Jersey, man, I met some real jerky people out in New Jersey. Like I said, I'm not going to stereotype them all, but, you know, when you first go to some place that you've never been before, and immediately a lot of the people you run into are jerks, you can't help but form an opinion about a place, you know. Like I said, there's probably nice people there, but guess what? I never met any of those nice people when I was in New Jersey. I was in South Jersey. I was in Cape May, which is supposed to be, you know, very tourist friendly, but the locals there were not very friendly. Also, checked out Atlantic City with my brother. This was, oh gosh, I don't know how many years back. I don't know if Atlantic City has cleaned up its act, but it was a dump back then. That might have been 10, 12 years ago. I don't know, but, and it was pretty nasty. Atlantic City was nasty. Let's see. Joe, you've heard that about Jersey a lot, about the people being jerks. Yeah, I don't know. The people were very short, and they did not seem to want to share any more words than they had to with me and my family when we were in Jersey, and which I thought was real crappy, especially when you're talking about servers at a restaurant, because you're talking about somebody who ordinarily doesn't get paid much money. They usually rely on tips, and I've never been a server, but if that's the way I was getting paid, I would damn sure be nice to the people I'm serving if I'm depending on them for my food, you know, for my wages. So I was thrown off that, you know, even the servers were very rude. Didn't make sense to me, because they're looking for a tip, you know, and my tip is, you're going to get shit from me, and my tip is, start being nice to people. I mean, it's just, yeah, really weird. I've only been to Jersey one time, and that's how I was treated by people out there. You know, another place I was at where people, I won't say they were necessarily mean to me, but I ran into some snobby folks. I'm not stereotyping all of them. I was in a hoity-toity kind of area, okay, of Columbus, suburb of Columbus, and I ran into some real snobby folks out there. Like I said, this was I can't remember what the hell the name of the suburb was. It was a well-to-do suburb, wealthy people, and I got the feeling that everybody was kind of looking down on me, you know, while I was there. And that might have just been that area of Columbus I was in. You know, I mean, those people might have been super rich. Gary's saying, can you pay your wife for serving you? Well, yes. I pay my wife by being just an all-around awesome guy. That's how I do it. Because I don't have cash. Shit. Now, you know, that's the thing about being a couple, though. Each person has to pay the price. Mutual payment, you know. I try to fix stuff, and then my wife does everything else. Every now and then I'll make dinner. Every now and then. I made dinner a few nights ago, but this poor lady, she makes 99% of the meals, but summertime is when I end up actually doing most of my helping out with making food, because then you've got cooking out, and that's where I That's where Paul steps in. Just like your dad. Yeah. Yeah, I've inherited a lot of traits from my dad, and I'm glad for that. My dad was an awesome dude. Couldn't ask for a better pappy. So I don't mind the comparisons at all. I think for a while there, I started looking a lot like my dad when I had my beard all grown out and getting bushy there. But, let's see. That's like me and my wife. Take mine. Yeah. Guys and gals, we each have our own things we gotta suffer through and put up with. Kim, me too. I love both your parents, and they loved you. You're an absolute sweetheart. That's what made you and my mom so close, I mean, you guys were kind of kindred spirits there. Mike's on. What's up, Mike? How are you? Mike's been working on a deck around a trailer. Seems to be, looked like it was just about done from what I seen on the pictures, man. Looks pretty nice, dude. Let's see, where are you at, Mike? You're in New York, right? Living in Buffalo. Oh, Mike's working.
I have the lighter.
Yes.
Please.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Mike, are you working outside or inside? Are you staying cool or are you burning up? Is it hot there in New York? I'm not there. I imagine it's hot. I doubt it's just Ohio getting hit by this stuff. But it is sweltering out here, man. Let's see. Oh, Mike's got one more platform to build for his deck. Mike's showing me some pictures of this deck he's building, and it's looking really cool. He's kind of making a real nice sized deck for his trailer. I build a lot of decks. Oh, you're outside and it sucks. Yeah. Well, that's when you get out that garden hose and spray yourself down hot as balls. Yes. See, I guess all kinds of records are getting broken right now for this heat. I guess it's ridiculous. For this time of the year, we're breaking temperature records, so it's historic. Yeah, so what are you doing? So you're working on the platform right now, is that it, Mike? Good thing about that stuff, I don't want to say I've built a million decks. I haven't, but I built a couple. I built a huge one on my parents' old place. Well, I didn't do it by myself. My dad was the master carpenter. I was, kind of robbing the boy wonder on that, but the boy wonder did a lot of work. And when my dad built things, he built big. Okay, he might start off with an idea that was kind of small, but then it'd get bigger and bigger and bigger until it was just super gigantic. Let's see. Okay, you're not doing any real work that pays the bills. Yeah, but, when you're working on personal stuff, it's nice to work on something and see the fruits of your labor. Especially when it's something you can enjoy. I've built a lot of things. I made a lot of things over the years I made them and crafted things, and then they went from my hands to somebody else's. Made a lot of things to sell. So, but that has its own rewards too. Not only is there the money you get, but if you make something really nice and it turns out to make somebody else happy, and then they let you know about it after they buy it, that leaves you with a good feeling. like I've made a lot of turkey calls and sold those, and luckily I've gotten a lot of good feedback about them, and that feels good. Feels good knowing that I made something that does what it's supposed to do, that it's functional and looks good too. Because I haven't made a turkey call for a long time, but when I was making those, I get really carried away with it, you know. Work really hard to produce a good sounding call that looked nice too, and got good feedback about them, so what more can you ask for? And I got paid for it. I didn't make tons of money, which I need to start putting some of them up for sale again, because I have some on the shelves, and it's like, these calls are not doing me any good. I gotta get them out there, gotta eBay these babies and put them into some outdoorsmen's hands, so they're, you know, not just sitting on the shelf for something for me to look at. But that makes me think, there's one I just took off the shelf here, and this, I'm sure the camera's not going to do it any justice. This call still isn't done. I started working on it a long time ago, but the finish came out absolutely gorgeous on this thing. I'm going to try and capture the essence of it on camera, alright? And, you know, probably most of you are not into turkey calls. Here it is. It's got paper. I got paper taped on the side of it here, on account of just protecting the finish on this one side. Now, here's the body of it. It's mainly poplar, or technically tulip wood. Not really poplar at all, but we call it poplar, or yellow poplar, I think. But it's tulip wood. It's from a tulip tree. Anyways, that's the call. But here is the beauty here, guys. I don't know if you can see those light rays and the depth. You'd have to really see it for real. I mean, you know, in the flesh, so to speak, because it's really cool, because the light on here catches the light, and it moves. And what I was going for was, I stained it several different tones, long process, and the center here ended up being a little bit darker, which is what I wanted it for. I wanted it to kind of be a feather shape in the middle of there, and so I gotta finish this, because absolutely gorgeous finish, and I gotta complete that. You know what's bad is, once I get it done, it's gonna be rough even selling it. I think I'm gonna hold on to it. Maybe I won't sell it. Maybe I'll keep it and give it to one of my kids or something. That finish on there, the colors and everything else just turned out so beautiful. I know, I'm showing it off. I get excited with this. Just that finish, when I got done with it, I thought, I have finally reached the peak of finishing. In woodworking, I've always taken the finish very serious on what I make, you know, because I do fine woodworking, smaller stuff. And when I did that, I was like, boy, my dad and my uncles who have passed on would be so proud of me with the job I did on that. You know, they're all gone now, which is sad, but I just like to think that, you know, they were probably all three looking down at me and saying, wow, Paul, that was a beautiful job. So, good afternoon, Jonah. How are you? I was just showing one of the turkey calls I've worked on, and I have not finished. Now, this call, by the way, is going to be, it's going to be a one-sided call. And that just simply means that the paddle on top of here is just going to close, and then it's going to hit this and stop. Most of the calls I've made are two-sided. That's, you have this side and that side to play your turkey sounds off of, and which is cool too. But I mean, this is, I did this one. I'm not playing around. This one was made to be a showpiece kind of thing. So, Jonah says, "I'm great. How are you today?" I'm doing really doggone good. Really doggone good. I can't complain. I'm, luckily, unlike a lot of poor folks are going to be stuck out in this heat and working and sweating their butts off, which wouldn't have been a problem to me when I was younger. When I was your age, I sweated my ass off many hours out in this kind of heat. But now that I'm older, a little bit more fat and sassy, I don't want to do that shit. You dig? But hanging out in the air conditioning. But I don't, I was saying earlier, I don't spoil myself too much. I make sure that I get out in the heat, and that's where I write down a lot of my ideas for doing the show. I go out there in the heat and with my notebook and jot down the ideas as they come along. I watch the birds flying around and look at the trees and the grass growing, and not that I actually see the grass growing. Well, I guess I do, but it's very slow. But anyways, yeah. So, what's going on with you, Jonah? Talked to you at great length yesterday. Jonah here, cool young man. He's kind of a newer guy to the show, who has embarked on some urban exploration. And we talked about that at a great length yesterday in yesterday's show. And if you're not familiar with urban exploration, or the term of it, basically that is going into places, usually in the city, that have been shut down and no longer are in use. Sometimes condemned buildings, old factories, old hospitals, old schools, old stores, old whatever structures. And these guys go out there and they get into there, try and find a way in there and explore these places. Okay, so basically, they go into these places and check out all the nooks and crannies and do the stuff that so many other people want to do but don't have the guts to do it because they're worried about getting arrested or something like that. Or falling through a floor. Or having a roof fall on them. Or having a hobo piss on their shoe, stuff like that. But, so these guys do it, We're not even going to worry about the ethics of it. Well, that's not right, or, I don't care if it's right or not. It's cool. It's interesting, How many times you went past an old structure and been like, I wonder what it looks like in there. I wish I could just go in there. Mike's saying, isn't that called trespassing? Oh, that's the ethic thing there, Mike. Come on, You know what? Here's the thing, Mike. Here's my thing. In this age, okay, because Jonah's a young man, very young. He just graduated last year, right? But I give him this. Yeah, hi, Sean. I see you watching. Hello, Sean. Much love at you, brother. Jonah is young, and I'll give him this, dude. He and his friends are out there doing stuff, okay? Maybe it's what some people don't consider right. But so much of this generation, his generation, are wimps. All right? I mean, it's just truth. We know this, and they don't do shit. So, Jonah saying, I'm just enjoying my day inside as of right now. Smiley. I plan on metal detecting later today. Sounds cool. Mike saying it still sounds like fun. Yeah, it does. And that's what's cool about some of this younger generation, because I don't want to blindly say all of these millennials are a bunch of wimps, okay? But generally speaking, they are a bunch of wimps, okay? Generally, okay? But there are some of them out there that are actually doing shit. You know, I mean, like, damn, Mike, our generation, we were getting into all kinds of trouble all the time, having all kinds of adventures. But so many people in this millennial generation are wimps. But not all of them. So, Sean Stout saying, I want to go to Helltown. Read a little bit about Helltown. Yes, I can't keep the story straight in my head that I've read about it, but I have read about it in the past. It sounds very interesting. Now I'm going to end up having to reread the stuff I've read about Helltown because it's been a long time. But, yeah, well, and we got Sean here. Sean's on here, and him and Joan are buddies. So Sean's another dude who gets out there and lives and does not just spend all his damn time with his phone or a tablet or something texting, doing this shit. Okay, so I applaud these young guys. Really do. Because I can't stand seeing young people throwing away their youth on cell phones and shit. See, Sean saying rumored serial killer in those woods, plus rumors of satanic rituals. I've heard about satanic rituals there, and a serial killer. And sacrifice, yeah. The satanic rituals and sacrifice go hand in hand. And, pardon me, let me clear my throat. If you saw yesterday's show, Sean, where Jonah was on, we did quite a bit of talking about all the satanic ritual rumors out there. See, Jonah saying satanic rituals take place in Helltown as well. The whole story behind Helltown is crazy. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, enlighten me about Helltown. Because you're right here. You might as well just type that stuff in. I'd love to hear about it. Enlighten us. Mike, come on, me and you grew up during the satanic panic, dude. You've got to remember all the stories about this place, that place, that were rumored to have satanic sacrifice and stuff. Sean saying he thinks the killer may be a bunch of baloney, but I'll never know until I see for myself. Well, I don't think you want to see a serial killer for yourself. Although, interesting enough, there's a good chance you've already seen a serial killer somewhere. Because, you know, I mean, serial killers are very elusive. Could be, you know, relative of yours might be one. The mailman might be one. The clerk at the store might be one. You could be one. But, yeah, you never know. It's weird shit. You always hear about these people when they end up getting busted and they find out so-and-so, you know, hacked apart 20, 25 people, and people were like, well, they were such a nice guy. Always kept to themselves, never made trouble. Sean's saying maybe he can take them out. Dun, 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 dun. Sean hitting them with the stout power, hunting down, tracking down the serial killers in Helltown. The whole thing sounds almost like a comic book, you know? I mean, well, the place is called Helltown, for crying out loud, so And yeah, guys, where is Helltown, anyways? Is this a place? This isn't near Doylestown, right? Somewhere different, right, guys? I don't know. Let me know geographically where is this place? I'm trying to stir up my coffee. I got creamer in it. And the coffee is kind of cold. The coffee's kind of cold, so it's got the creamers looking like curds and whey or something. Kind of talking out of my ass. I've never seen curds and whey. I know what curds look like, but... And I'm not talking about the ones from the Middle East. I'm talking about the ones from creamer and stuff. I know what those look like. Okay, Sean's saying... Summit County, Boston Township. Boston, eh? Boston. I know it's not that Boston. Just being goofy. Boston Township. Damn. I think I've been to Boston Township. Never been to where Helltown is. Isn't it, is Helltown like overgrown now? It's like a wooded area or something? Is it like that now? Is it like, was a ghost town or something and now overgrown or something? I could be mixing up my stories. I've read a lot of Erie, Ohio, scary stories about places in Ohio that supposedly, supposed things took place in. So I could be mixing all this shit up. So that's why I say, enlighten me. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know. Okay, it's an abandoned town. All right. See, now I've heard, like I said, man, there's some good websites out there about Forgotten Ohio. I think that might be the name of one of the websites where I've read about some creepy places. I think it's Forgotten Ohio. If you guys know any cool websites with creepy Ohio information, be sure to share that, because I'm not the only person interested in that. But yeah, you guys, you like those stories about these creepy cults. I mean, my gosh, grew up in that shit. Helltown was originally known as Boston Mills. It was a town that was told to evacuate by the U.S. government. People believed the government did testing on those who didn't leave and have created them into a mutated creature. Satanic rituals have taken place inside the old church as well. Also, there's an old school bus in the woods that is said to have had a bus full of children that were killed by a bunch of cult members. Damn! This shit is dark. The government basically forced people out of their homes in name of trying to make it into a national park, but those plans never fell through. Okay, that's what Sean said. And the thing about the testing, the stuff, that information, the other part, Jonah contributed. So we've got the one thing similar is that the government told these people to hit the road, okay? But Sean's information he gave us very innocuous and sounding innocent. They're planning on making a national park. And then the information that you were sharing, Jonah, paints a very grim picture of what the government did. Wow. Creepy shit, huh? Man. So, I mean, are we pretty sure, though, that, the government did actually kick the people out of there? I mean, is that something that pretty much people agree on that happened? That these people were kicked out of there? Because I'm sure, the other stuff about the cults and stuff. Everybody's going to debate that shit. Okay, Jonah's saying National Park was a plan, but it's rumored that they had tests on those that didn't leave. Great story. Great story. I love it. Ugh. Yeah, I'm digging it, dude. Really digging the lore here. Yeah, it's creepy shit. I read about some place, and maybe it was there where I read a story about somewhere in Ohio where there was like this orphanage or whatever that burned down and all kinds of creepy shit. I can't get my stories straight because it's been years. Now, you ever hear of the melonhead kids or melonhead babies or some shit like that? You ever hear of those? The melonheads? Wild people with watermelon-shaped heads. Like feral people running around. You guys ever hear about them? Wonder if any of those stories fall into this category, huh? The melon heads. You guys ever hear about the melon heads in Ohio? Helltown. So this makes me wonder, guys, is Helltown off limits? Would you be trespassing to go check it out? Or is it somewhere, you can legally go and check this place out? I wonder. Helltown, Ohio. But yeah, if you guys ever heard, I've heard tales of these melonhead children that run around, and I can't remember the whole story about them, but they have heads shaped like watermelons, and they're like feral and attack people. And I guess the legend of the melonhead's not isolated to Ohio, but from what I read, there's stories of them in Michigan also. I don't know about Pennsylvania, but I guess Michigan, northern Ohio is pretty popular. It's melonhead thing, although I never heard of it until I read about it online. Never heard anybody tell me, hey, you ever hear about the melonhead kids? Or anything like that, so. But, let's see, I got gnats trying to drink my damn coffee. It's annoying. So what's going on, guys? You guys are still on here. Anybody ever hear of these melonheads? I alone. I'm alone on that one. It's another creepy place, honey. Another Ohio place that's creepy besides Rogues Hollow and you grew up in a different area. Were there any legends you heard about growing up? About wild people living out in the wild or anything like that? No.
When, before I was born,
yeah.
Well, actually, it happened one night.
My wife's telling me about.
On Turney Road, there used to be an insane asylum.
Okay, where my wife lived, there was a road called Turney.
Yeah,
well, it's still there.
Is. And there was an insane asylum.
There was an insane asylum.
And everybody, it was like in the beginning of the original Halloween.
Okay.
All those people in like white.
People escaped from the insane asylum on Turney Road. This was in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of crazy people escaped the asylum.
Yep. And then...
That sounds freaky.
They closed it down.
They closed it down.
In the 80s?
In the 80s.
And then it was to be haunted, and people were running around trying to break in and get in there.
Okay. And then the insane asylum was said to be haunted.
Put those prefab housing communities.
Oh, and they tore it down, and now it's filled with prefab homes.
Yes.
So it's like a subdivision or whatever the hell they call those allotments.
There's rumors that people's houses are haunted and stuff.
Oh, so now there's rumors that the houses built where this insane asylum was are now haunted. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, that's creepy. I remember when Massillon State Hospital had a breakout back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And there were patients out wandering around. Yeah, maybe it was happening the same time up in Cleveland. See, Jonah says, I've not had the chance to go there yet, but he plans on going there in the near future. There's a closed road that leads you into the town. Ooh. And Jonah says he believes he has heard of them, and I imagine you are referring to the melonhead babies. Melonhead kids. Yeah, well, the website I read said that the tails of melonhead kids are rampant and all this through northern Ohio and in Michigan. Now, like I said, rampant or not, I never heard the tails. As a kid, I've never heard them, but maybe we're talking more north, like Cleveland and Toledo and stuff. My wife grew up in Cleveland, but you never heard of the melonhead kids, right?
No.
So she never heard of them.
My sister used to call me a melonhead.
Well, your sister calling you a melonhead? Oh, shit, are you a melonhead? Your head doesn't look like a watermelon. You're not a melonhead. You're not a melonhead. Wow.
You know what? They had all these cameras downtown on August 1st, and I don't see any pictures of our kids.
Well, once again, another place. If you guys go to Helltown, that'd be another cool place to hit me up on the wasted lunch and talk about that, because it's interesting. I'm trying to think if I'm going to ask my wife, honey, have you ever seen a website called Forgotten Ohio?
Yes, I have.
Okay, that's a website with a whole bunch of creepy Ohio shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was right.
Most haunted county in Ohio.
Okay, my wife said from what she's read, Wayne County, Ohio is supposed to be.
I have a haunted Ohio.
It's supposed to be the most haunted county in Ohio, Wayne County, and of course that is right next door to Stark County where I live. So, most of you dudes are from, and dudettes, pardon me. Wayne County, I guess, is rich with creepy legends and lore. Man, I'm getting a cough here. Oh my gosh. So we got Helltown, I'll tell you what, you guys ever get a chance, whoever's watching this, you want to see a place that looked creepy, I'll tell you, go look up pictures of the old Massillon State Hospital. Okay, the old pictures of it. Oh my gosh, the place was like a castle.
Oh, would you stop it?
It was creepy as hell. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if this cough, it might have came about because of damn air conditioning. I don't know. There we go. Hit the vapor and cough your head off some more. There, Paul. That's real good.
I need a new keyboard. I hate this keyboard.
Listening to my wife, she's very frustrated with our keyboard for our computer. We had the old standby computer, and then our daughter so graciously hooked us up with her old computer, which was
practically brand new.
But it's got this keyboard where like the buttons are barely raised at all. Frustrates the shit out of Teresa. She can't stand it. I can't say that I can't stand it or anything like that. I have not even touched it. Haven't used it once. So I don't know shit about that. Yeah. And yesterday we were also talking about how Jonah went down by Crybaby Bridge, or our Crybaby tongue twister. Our Crybaby Bridge, which is over in Doylestown, and there might be other Crybaby bridges around here. I don't know, but that is the one that most people talk about that I know. And that is in an area called Rogues Hollow, which is a creepy place. It is outside of Doylestown, and it is a hollow, or as they would say, where my people come from, a holler. The woods and the hills kind of go down like that. And it is a creepy place because it tends to be darker than the area around it because you've got like a little valley, which is really a holler, or a hollow. You know, you want to speak non-hillbilly. And it tends to be darker in there. And sometimes the mists and fog end up dropping down into there and making it really creepy. So, Rogues Hollow, very cool place. Which I first heard about Rogues Hollow when I was a little boy. My parents and our family, when I was a kid, went to church at a church in Clinton, Ohio, which is not too far from Rogues Hollow. And there was a man who went to church there who had actually published books on the lore and legends and stories of Rogues Hollow. That's where I first heard about Rogues Hollow. So I had been, I don't want to say baptized, it sounds terrible. I had been brought up hearing about Rogues Hollow ever since I was a little kid. So I never saw Rogues Hollow until I was an adult and went there for myself. See, Jonas says, I've been...
Trestle. Here's another haunted Ohio.
Okay, 1 second, baby.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm not calling you baby, Jonah. I was talking to my producer. Jonah says, I've been by the still standing McKinley Hall, and it looks so creepy. My mom works at the state hospital. She has told me ghost stories and experiences she has had in the new hospital and in William McKinley's mansion. That place is pretty rad looking, isn't it? It's a beautiful building, but creepy. Creepy as all get out. But beautiful too. Yeah, that McKinley Hall. And I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, there were so many more of those older structures and stuff with like Gothic style windows and stuff. It was really creepy back in the days, dude. Really, really creepy. So I grew up thinking that is what a crazy house looks like. That is what an insane asylum looks like. This castle-looking place up on a hill. Okay? And there wasn't shit around it. There wasn't a damn bar and stuff down by Erie Street or any of that stuff. There wasn't, or some of those factories and industrial places around there. They weren't around there. So it was really creepy. You always hear, back in the day, things were a lot spooky. You're damn right they were. And they're going to get less spooky as stuff gets populated by more and more buildings. And the old buildings get torn down. New shit gets thrown up. You know, you can't beat the old structures. I mean, you know, that's why they're using an old-ass Mansfield Reformatory for movies still. You can't, you know, they're never going to build prisons like that again. They never will. So, when these places get torn down, I mean, they're tearing down treasures. And so when they tore down the old state hospital, that was a travesty, in my opinion. They just screwed it up. Now, my wife has some information on a trestle, honey.
Yeah, I'm not there anymore.
Oh, shit. She ended up losing her page or whatever. But I hate seeing these places torn down. I hate seeing history get wiped off the map. And so I love these old structures. I love these old buildings. And,
River Styx Trestle.
Okay. River Styx Trestle. I'm going to go ahead and kind of echo my wife here because the computer is about 12 feet away.
Passenger train number 5
Wait.
jumped the track and rolled at a small overpass.
Okay, hold on. You're speaking too fast. What is it called?
It's called the River Styx Trestle.
River Styx Trestle.
It's in Rittman, Ohio.
It's in Rittman, Ohio. And a train.
Erie westbound passenger train.
An Erie westbound passenger train.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Jumped the track.
And rolled.
At a small overpass. River Styx Trestle.
Called the River Styx Trestle.
22nd.
On March 22nd.
1899.
1899 this happened.
Near Rittman, Ohio.
Near Rittman, Ohio.
The engineer was killed at the wreck.
engineer was killed at the wreck.
During the years after the wreck, many reputable people
afterwards, during the years
heard
after,
the sound of a ghostly train crashing in the vicinity.
Okay, reputable people have talked about hearing the sounds of crashing.
A ghostly
heard
train
the sounds
crashing.
of a ghostly train crashing near there. Okay, there's been witnesses, reputable people. So I don't even know what I was saying there. I was like, I felt like I was in first grade reciting the Pledge of Allegiance after my teacher. I pledge allegiance to the, but you guys got it. I wasn't listening to myself, of course. So that information, that was off of what website is that?
This is Ohio Ghost Stories, Legends,
Ohio Ghost Stories, Legends, and Haunts?
Yes.
Okay, that was the website that was from. They got a date there and everything, so if you want to check that one out, you can look up the damn date and, train crash or Ohio
and
or
there is a
whatever.
Map with little
I guess there's a map on there?
Where haunted crap is.
Okay, and they got a map on their website showing where haunted stuff takes place, so that might be a place to look for if you guys are interested in that stuff. Then again, see, that's where I was, given Jonah and Sean and their crew, their buddies, some praise over being younger people that get out there and do shit. It's cool because there's just so many young people who don't want to do anything now. They want to piss about on their phone and
there are many places
live the cyber life.
In Cleveland.
Oh, I'm saying there's a whole shitload of places in Cleveland. It has to be. Cleveland.
Erie Street Cemetery.
Is, really was the biggest city in Ohio, and really still has the biggest metropolitan area, the most people in it.
Have you ever been to the Agora in Cleveland?
Yes, I've been to the Agora in Cleveland.
That is haunted.
That's supposed to be haunted too?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've been there, and one of the most famous places in Cleveland for haunted shit is the Franklin Castle.
Yes.
Hands down, that is the one most talked about, is the Franklin Castle.
You can't go there.
But you're not allowed going there. Private residence, is it?
Yes.
Or just owned? Is anybody living there, do you know?
No, the previous
Franklin
owners
Castle.
that grew up there, they will not even, they had an interview on one of those.
They could make money off of opening that place up.
It's costing too much money to renovate.
Oh, I guess the people who own it
because the people who
don't have the money to renovate it.
Their parents, they wouldn't go there. They wouldn't live there after they were able to move out.
Well, that sucks.
And they finally sold it.
So
but
the Franklin Castle got sold to somebody, right?
There's too much to renovate
because
back in
terrible.
2005 they were supposed to renovate it. It was supposed to be open for tours.
Franklin Castle guys looked that shit up.
But there's also a documentary about it, and with the original children that lived there.
There's bad history with. Jonah's got some information that might have something to do with what you told us earlier about the train. Do you want to hear about that?
Sure.
Okay, Jonah's saying he's not sure if this ties into that story, but another thing he heard of is that a train passes by a location where a train has crashed, and they would see messages being written on the windows saying, "Help me." Jonah has been by the Franklin Castle. He wishes he could get in there.
But unfortunately, you can't.
Yeah.
Because they were supposed to open up in 2005.
I'm not suggesting shit, all right?
Well, if you're going to break in, I'm going with you.
You can't.
Nice to meet you, Jonah.
No, you are not breaking into the Franklin Castle. My wife is, now watch somebody's ass go out there, break into the Franklin Castle, and it's going to be blamed all on us. Nobody's breaking into there, but there's got to be thousands of people that want to. What's up, Chris? What's happening, man? Hope things are going good. We're talking about the Franklin Castle in Cleveland, which is, if you follow or read about any of the creepy Ohio shit, That's like near the top of the list. It's definitely, I would say, at the top of the list for Cleveland, for sure. Big ass house, obviously got built by somebody named Franklin, right? What was he rich? I mean, what was he? How did he make his money?
Haynes Tiedemann's house.
Haynes Tiedemann?
Yeah.
Which is obviously who Tiedemann Road is named after.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, Jonah's saying, don't be the one to break in, be the one to find a way in. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to break in. I was just going to accidentally fall through a window.
Oh, my wife said she wasn't going to break in. She was going to accidentally fall through a window. You believe that shit? Believe that shit? I don't even know where this place is in Cleveland.
It's downtown Cleveland.
Is it downtown?
It's a hop and a skip from Erie Street Cemetery, which is also haunted.
Okay. My wife said it's a hop and a skip from Erie Street?
Mm-hmm.
Erie Street Cemetery, which is also alleged to be haunted.
It's on Franklin Boulevard.
It's on Franklin Boulevard in Cleveland.
Ohio. It's I mean, probably
Sounds interesting.
4 to 5 blocks.
I've seen pictures of it a couple hundred times.
Beautiful house. But
let's see. Yeah, Jonah's saying whatever works. That was in reply to you falling through the window.
I just gotta wear my stuntman suit so I don't get cut up.
She's gonna have to. Yeah, she's gonna accidentally fall through the window into the Franklin Castle wearing a cut-resistant jumpsuit. You know, that's how she's gonna do it. All right. Well. That's cool, Chris, that you're on here. That's cool.
One of the things of it is,
we're talking about creepy shit right now.
You could actually,
in Ohio.
Even not getting into the house, but if you go, there's been reports of people just walking past it and seeing a lady in black standing in the window.
At Franklin Castle.
Yes, and people
have seen a lady in
pictures.
Black. In the window.
Yes.
At Franklin Castle. And there's pictures of this?
And there was some ghost hunting people, one of those fruity guys.
Yeah, didn't one of them ghost hunter guys actually get to go in the building?
They got to go in there, and the people who owned it were like, we're not going in there. And it's all crappy and everything, but they ended up leaving.
Yeah.
They did not stay the entire 12
hours. I'd have been all through that place.
They left.
Taking pictures.
They were supposed to stay they got there at 10 o'clock. They were supposed to stay there from 10 to 8, and they did not stay.
Jonah says he's been in the cemetery, too, near Progressive Field. Sound right?
Right across the street.
Right across the street. Hey, wait, is that real little cemetery?
No, it's
or is it a good size? Is it a good size one?
You know what? Calvary Cemetery is supposed to be haunted, too. And that's huge. That's like a theme park cemetery. People are dying to get in there.
Oh, goodness. My wife did the old people are dying to get in there joke. Mike Lint says the house I lived on, Federal, next to the group home, that was supposed to be haunted too? Federal. Wait, are you talking about that little red house? Okay, if you're talking about the little red house, okay, I don't know. Shit, I don't know the address of the house in Massillon, but there's a little red house and it's old as shit. Okay, and that one is supposed to be haunted. Oh gosh, is that 3rd Street? I think it's on 3rd, and maybe that is Federal. I don't know. 3rd and something. Damn it. There's a house there, and it's supposed to be haunted. And anyways, this old house at one time was a church, and this weird ass group of people, and they weren't Methodists, they weren't Presbyterians. Red brick with a closed-in porch. I wonder. Well, the house I'm talking about, it was this church full of this weird church that had seances. Okay, that was part of their regular shit. Was having seances, and that place was always rumored to be haunted. Let's see. Jonas says he lives close to Federal Avenue. He could go take a look. So. Wait, Federal Avenue near the group home. The group home on the corner, is that on Federal and 3rd?
I got a creepy church for you.
When I come up with the address to the house I'm talking about, I'll end up popping on here and dropping it. Maybe I'll put it on, okay, across from Packley Funeral is where Mike's talking about. The old Packley Funeral.
You talking about the Sexton house?
Jonah says he knows where that's at. He knows where you're talking about. And the house I'm talking about is across from the old Packley Funeral Home parking lot. That I think it has white pillars is the one I'm talking about.
But the one over by off of Wales by the new Packley, it's off of Wales. It's the Sexton house, which is also haunted.
Okay, are you talking the one by the pond?
Yes.
Okay, and then there's another house. Here we'll go. And if this one, the old Sexton house, okay, which is maybe technically it's just outside of Maslin in Jackson Township, off of Wales Road, where the weird ass Sexton family lived, which is a really pretty property. If you go down Wales, you go past the I can't even remember the name of that plaza. On the left, there's a pond, nice pond, and there's a little house on a small hill. Is the old Sexton house. That, that was that weird ass family. They were in incest and stuff, and there were murders and all that weird shit. I guess some people believe that to be haunted. Imagine that, people thinking it might be haunted.
Well, Mike people have reported that they hear babies crying all the time.
Baby crying sounds?
Babies. Not baby, babies.
Mike says it used to be a graveyard there, and they moved it where he's talking about. It's now a dance studio inside the old funeral home. Yeah, isn't that weird? It's now a dance studio. The old Packley Funeral Home is now, Mike's saying the Sexton house is haunted by their victims. Yeah, and that's where my wife said people say they hear babies, plural, crying because, that weird family, I guess, when they have babies.
There's supposed to be several in that pond, but they won't drag that pond.
And what's funny about that house was somebody I went to church with almost bought that house. Or did they buy it?
Did they buy it, then they found out
they did buy it, I think. Some people I went to church with ended up buying the old Sexton house and then found out about the history of it after they bought it. The realtors did not tell them about it, and they got pissed. These people I went to church with got pissed off. And they got out of it.
Because if there's any crimes committed in your
because
home,
they did not let them know that, and I guess their job is to... You got to tell the people who are buying the house, hey, look, there's been people murdered in your crib that you're checking out. They did not tell them, so the people I went to church with got out of it.
Here, would you like some coffee?
Got a very small cup of coffee being offered to me. No, I'll pass on that one. I don't drink my coffee out of plastic. Look at that. Look at that tiny ass little mug. See, Joni said, yes, the Sexton family killed people and dumped their bodies inside the pond, and they weighed the bodies down with chains, etc. They did drown babies as well. Well, and that's, you know what, that's funny, because at my church I went to, okay, real nice people who ended up buying that house and getting the hell out of that deal, which they didn't have any problems getting out of that deal because the realtors screwed up. But another family, another dude who went to our church as well, he's now a retired Canton cop, but was at the time working with the Canton Police Department. And he said, I'll bet if they dragged that pond, they'd be finding a lot of bodies in there. So.
Because it's private property, they can't.
So. But yeah, they can't do that. It's private property, so. Let's see. Mike says he remembers the police pulled at least 2 people from the pond. It's a lovely little place. I can't. It's hard to believe such weirdos live there. What, like, yeah, Paul, like, weirdos can't live in a nice property.
Creepy churches.
That sounds silly, but it does. It's such a cute property. The pond is so pretty. You know, it's a cute little house up there. I'm not going to drop the names of the people that I know that owned it for a second, but they were not happy when they found out who the former tenants were. They were like, screw this. My wife's got another place. What do you...
A creepy church.
Creepy
Walton
church.
Hills, in the middle of nowhere. There is this little church. It's not... It had... On the sign, it says something like the Church of the People or something. It has nothing to do with Christ. There is no crosses. And at night, there's red lights. This church has red lights glowing out of the windows.
Where is this?
In Walton Hills.
Okay, Walton Hills is a place.
Yes.
It's a town?
It's a town. And it's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you're driving past cornfields and crops and this and that, and then all of a sudden there's this church. And it glows red. And I've been there several times, but none of us in the groups of people...
Come on around here.
None of us in the group, in the carloads of people that would go there, would get out of the car to look in the church because we were terrified that the fact that there was nothing about this church that said anything about the Lord, and it glowed red. Who puts red lights on in their church? These people did.
It's weird because with the refrigerator and the cupboard set up, it looks like we're split screen almost. If you move your shoulder there. Now it looks like... There we go. Yeah, let's see. And the father was a doctor. Was he a doctor?
I don't know what he was. He was a fucking pervert.
Snake worshipping going on there. Yeah, you dropped the F-bomb.
Sorry,
I accidentally dropped the F-bomb earlier when I was reading a comment from my cousin.
Sorry, guys.
I call her my little cousin, but she's an adult now, but dropped the F-bomb earlier, so... Whoopsie! I try not to do it too much. You know, not that this is a family show by any means, although there have been some episodes that were family friendly when I have my kids on here. You know, I'm careful about what the heck I say. You know, I polish up my language. I try not to cuss around my kids too much, but anyways, let's see. Jonah's saying, now that seems crazy as hell. I would have the balls to look in the church. Hell, I will put a cross on that building. Jonah's ready to go.
All right.
Exercise the building.
Tape it. Video.
And Teresa said, if you do, video that shit.
Yeah,
record it.
And we had guys with us too. I mean, we would pack my Cavalier with like 8 people, and we would drive to this church, and we would not.
I guess my wife and her friends, they'd all fill up a car and then go out past this joint. Let's see. Oh, Mike's saying I didn't drop any more than Scotty dropped on Friday. No, Scotty was dropping them left and right. Yeah, it was. It was unscripted. The only thing scripted at all about the show that Scott was on was I picked up Scott and he had a list of. You know, I had things that I wanted to talk about, subjects I wanted to talk with Scott about. Usually I'm the guy who has the stuff or whatever, but Scott ran a list past me and he's like, you know, I think these would be cool to talk about. And I'm like, looked at the list stuff and I'm like, okay, cool, we'll see it. And then, you know, Scott had, we had a lot of fun. I was going to say Scott had fun, but we both had a lot of fun. That was, you know, just, yeah, it's... got kind of crazy, but shit, that's the way it goes sometimes. But, yeah, I am not a saint by any means, but I try and keep it within, I don't know, some levels, because I can find myself easily let myself go and just being like, blah, 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 you know, getting really carried away, and then I'm sound like somebody from Goodfellas. I've been accused of that. A cousin from West.
I've also been accused of sounding like the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, I've been told by people I sound like the Flying Dutchman before, too. But I had a cousin of mine come up from West Virginia one time and hang out with me and my other cousins from Ohio. My cousin came up and hung out with us. He's from the Sticks in West Virginia, and he was like, "You guys talk like the guys on what is that show? That mob show that was on HBO, Sopranos." It's like, oh my gosh, you guys sound like the Sopranos. And I thought about it, and it was like, yeah, we kind of do. I mean, so growing up, you know, I was hanging out in the coffee shop with a bunch of older fellas, and you know, learned some colorful language from some of those fellas growing up. So yeah, I try and control it just so I don't get too to where, you know, I want to make some sense, damn it, since, you know, it's a show. Because the F word can be used for damn near everything. I mean, it's a very diverse word, you know. But, yeah, I'm hoping Jonah gets out here, Jonah and his crew, and Sean get out there, and they start filming some of this stuff. You know, hopefully these dudes will share with us. Share. For us duffers who aren't getting out as much as we would like to get out. But, wow. So, let's see. Oh my gosh. Time is 1:26. I think it is about time for me to hop off of here and get back to life. But had a great time. Great show. Glad and thanks guys for everybody hopping on here and participating. It's awesome. But for now, I think I'm going to close shop and, no, not shop for clothes, but close the shop and get back to doing whatever I got to do here. I'm sure there's something I should do that's productive, but I'm going to hop off of here, and I am going to wish all of you a great day. I'm going to wish all the people who did not have the chance to be on here live. I'm going to wish all of you guys have a great day, and of course everybody who participated. I'm going to wish all of you guys a awesome day. Let's see, Jonah just popped up a comment. Plan on filming these locations. I want to save up for a good camera. Well, good luck doing that, dude. You know my situation. I wish I had the funds to get better camera and audio supplies because I'd like to broadcast Wasted Lunch on a few different formats and get it out to more people. Jonah's saying, have a great day. I look forward to many more. Thank you. So do I. And Mike, Gary just hopped on, and now I'm going to be hopping off. But Mike, Sean, Gary, you guys have a great day too. Whatever you guys do, God bless. Be careful. Be safe. And I'll see you later. I'll be doing it tomorrow. All right. Bye.